This is chapter 2, functions. Exercise is 2.4, R.D. Sharma solutions, class 12. Next question is, let f be a function from R to R such that fx equals cos x plus 2. Is f invertible? And justify your answer. So our function is cos x plus 2. So we are dealing with the question number 17. So for invertible, there are two things we have to do. 1, 1 and on 2. When 1, 1 on 2 is there, then we can say it is bijective. Then only it is invertible. So for 1, 1 we write fx equals fy and we assume it to be true, and then we try to prove that x is also equal to y. So cos x plus 2 is equal to cos y plus 2. When cos theta equals cos phi, you can assume like this. So there may be two conditions. Actually, there is a proper trigonometric equation for cos theta equals cos phi. But to make it simpler, we'll just take the case like x plus 2 equals y plus 2. Either it can be cos 60 degree and cos 60 degree, both are same. Or it can be cos 60 degree and 360 minus 60, that is cos 300 and cos 60. They have the same value. 2 pi is standing for 360 degree. So x plus 2 equals 2 pi minus y plus 2. So let me just open it. It's x plus 2 equals 2 pi minus y minus 2. So 2 pi, just take it here, 2 pi by minus y minus 4. So x equals y is true for the first part. But we cannot say that x is equal to y for the other thing which we are getting for this equation. That is, if I say that cos 90 and then we say cos 360 minus 90 you can do. So it will be 270. And they both have same value, but the theta is not same. Because we know cos 0 is equal to 1, cos 90 is 0. And then we have cos 180 degree. That becomes negative 1. Okay. Then also you can add cos 270. Cos 270 will be, again, you get 0. So you get both the value as 0. But the thetas are not same. So pi by 2, 3 pi by 2. That is x is not equal to y. So it is clear that it is not even 1 to 1. When it is not 1 to 1, we will not check for surjective because it is not bijective. Next question is, if A equals 1, 2, 3, 4 and B equals A, B, C, D, define any 4 bijections from A to B, also give their inverse functions. So we have, say, two sets A and B. When it will be bijective, when it will be 1, 1 and on 2, that is all the pairing is means 1 to 1, no repetition. And on 2 means set of B, all the elements of B, they are engaged. That is, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. And here we have A, B, C, D. So this 1, 1 should be there. And A, B, C, D should not remain. All should be paired up with some or the other element of the first set. So let us make one of these. 1A, 2B, 3C and 4D. This is your 1 to 1. So it is connected. And just assume that it is A and B. It is already given actually. So how you can do for other? Because now you have to find out F inverse also. First one I told you. Now let us take one more. 1, 2, 3, 4. I am pairing one more. F1 I already told you. The first one which I showed you. Now I am making one more. So I am making a random combination, but it has to be 1, 1 and on 2. So 1D, 2A, 3B, 4C. This is also 1, 1 and on 2. So this is F4 I have made. I hope you will be able to make F2 and F3 also. How to take the inverse? Just reverse the ordering of the ordered pair. Because both are 1, 1 and on 2. Because just change the pairing. So this becomes 1a will become a1, 2b will become b2, 3c will become c3, 4d will become d4. So first one I told you and f4 also I told you, and just reverse the position. Let A and B be two sets, each with a finite number of elements. Assume that there is an injective map from A to B, and that there is an injective map from B to A. Prove that there is a bijection from A to B. So we have set A and set B. So you can count the numbers, that is the number of elements are finite. They can be counted. So there is an injective map from A to B. Injective means 1 to 1. We don't know any of the element of set B is remaining or not, but we know that whatever element is there, they are 1 to 1. There is no repetition of A. Okay? Injective map. So 1 to 1 injective. This is A to B. B to A is also injective. B to A is also injective. So from 1A to B it is injective, B to A it is injective, and by all the discussions we had, we already know that this is pointing to invertible function, and that is only possible when it is bijective. So both are A and B. So forward relation is also there and backward relation is also there. Okay. So f is a function from A to B, 1 to 1. And it is also said that this B to A is also 1 to 1. B to A is also 1 to 1. Right? So all the element has having a pre-image. So this is also 1 to 1. So 1, 1 and on 2. On 2 means there is no element of the set B which is remaining. So it is 1, 1 also and on 2 also. So to second condition means there is no element remaining in the second set. So when it is onto and bijective, this onto and 1, 1, we call it as bijective. And this is a prerequisite for a function to be having a f inverse. Now we have question number 20. So we have if f is A to A, G is from A to A, these are two bijections, then prove that fog is an injection and fog is a surjection. So let us take the injectivity first, that is we have to prove 1 to 1. So these are two sets, and since it is A to A, the elements remains the same. If it is 1 to 3, it is 1 to 3 here. If it is ABC, it will be ABC here. So these are two bijections. This is A and A. A and A. Okay. So fog is an injection means what? You know how to prove an injectivity. Fx equals Fy. So we prove x equals y. We try to prove x equals y assuming Fx equals to Fy. But we are dealing with fog. Let me tell you again. For any function f, we say Fx equals Fy, and then we try to prove that x equals y, then it is 1 to 1. But here we will deal with fog. So FOGX is equal to FOGY. Fog of x is equal to fog of y. We assume that this is true, and then we will try to prove x is equal to y. And please remember, f and g, they both are bijections. So f of gx is f of gx, f of gy is f of gy. Now whatever is inside, don't worry about this. Gx, just ignore gx. Just assume that it is f something inside and g something inside, some variable. But since f is a bijection, so bijection, that means x has fx equals fy. If f is a bijection, x has to be equal to y. X has to be equal to y. So gx and gy, which is inside, is actually x and y. I hope you have got the idea. Fx equal to fy, x equal to y. This is already given in the question. So we started with fgx and fgy. So the inside gx is actually equivalent to x and gy is actually equivalent to y. So gx equals gy. Now g is also 1 to 1. And 1 to 1 and on to also, because this is bijection. So gx equals gy means x equal to y. So we started with fog x and fog y, and we proved that x is equal to y. That is, this is a onto function. Fog is injectivity, we have proved. Now let us come to the second part and try to show it as surjective. So what we do? Fx equals y. This is what we do in general question, fx. So we try to show that for every value of y, there is a pre-image x. For every y, there is a pre-image. So what do? We will start with fog, because this function is not fx here. We have to prove fog x is surjective. So fog x, f-o-g-x, this is equal to y here. Okay. Now this is f of gx. And just now we saw f of gx is nothing but gx. By our previous discussion of 1 to 1, f of gx is nothing but it is gx only. So gx is gx, because gx and gx equals y. What was gx? Gx was x by our earlier discussion. So x becomes equal to y, right? So x is also having certain value which is equal to y. So for y, x is defined, or for x, y is defined. This is injective also and surjective also. This is question number 21. And in certain edition it may be 30. So we have CBSE 2012 question, this one. So A is R minus 3. Now this is very, very important, that all real number without 3. You cannot take 3. Otherwise it will make it as something divided by 0 which is undefined. Fx is given as x minus 2 by x minus 3. People tell me that you already have a solution. Why are you doing it? See, this solution has certain points where you need certain discussion, because sometimes if something is straightforward, I don't touch that. But if something is there which I need to explain, because there are certain students which don't understand how this has happened, how this has happened. So in order to make everyone understand, this is what I do. I do it by myself, and I show the answer also, because you have to write like this. You know about my handwriting. It's world's best handwriting, already. And if I start writing everything, it will take a lot of time. You know it. So this is, we have to show that this is 1, 1 and onto, and hence find f inverse. So let us start with 1, 1. Fx equals fy. We assume it to be true. And then we prove that it is x equal to y. So x minus 2 by x minus 3 equals y minus 2 by y minus 3. Now let us multiply cross and then see what do we get. X minus 2 into y minus 3 equals x minus 3 into y minus 2. So we'll properly multiply everything, and then we'll try to cancel, and probably we are going to get x equals y. So xy minus 3x minus 2y plus 6. That is, just multiply these two terms or expression. Then you have xy minus 2x minus 3y plus 6. So xy gets cancelled, 6 also gets cancelled. So take x on one side and take y on one side. And then you will find that both the side it is 3y minus y and 3x minus x. 3x minus 2x. 3y minus 2y equals, you have 3x minus 2x. So y equals x, that is essentially equal to x equals y. So x is equal to y. What does it mean? Where we started with fx equals fy and we proved y x equals y, that is it is 1 1. In order to do 1 2, fx equals y we have to do. So fx equals y, fx is what? That is, we want to prove that every value of the second set is having a pre-image. No value of second set is remaining. You just cross multiply here. You get x minus 2 equals y into x minus 3. X minus 2 equals xy minus 3y. X minus 2 equals yx minus 3y. So here what you have to do is you have to take x on one side and then y on another side, because x should be shown that for every y there has to be some x. So here is a mistake which I'll correct in just a few moments, but there is a mistake. Xy minus 3y it is. So x minus 2 equals x minus xy equals x. I'm just changing it. So whatever you are getting, I'm going to just correct it in improving it to be f inverse. It will be x minus xy equals 2 minus 3y. So this is what you get, but just don't take it now, because here is a slight incorrect thing which I have done. I'm just going to change it. But just assume that y, for every y, there is an x for this domain. Domain is already given in the question. So I'm going to do the f inverse, and then you will see that what is the correct way to represent it, because the onto and inverse, they both are done in the same way. So fx equals y. Y is fx is all the functions we do. But when we do inverse, we change the position of x and y. So x becomes equal to fy. So from here only we will get f inverse equals y. So we start with x equals fy, and then we try to find y, and then finally we will put y as f inverse x. So we'll start with x equals fy, because this is the actual inverse. Y is fx is the general main function. X equals fy is our main one, means the inverse one. So now I'm doing this correct thing, which I just told you that there is some incorrection which I'm going to correct. So xy minus 3x equals y minus 2. So xy minus 3x equals y minus 2. So let us take this x on one side and y on one side, because we have to find y. Here we have to find y. In onto, I told you that we wanted x, because we wanted to prove that for every y there is x. For onto, surjectivity. But here, because we are doing in the inverse, we want y on one side, because eventually we are going to put y as f inverse x. So xy minus y equals 3x minus 2. And this is the correction which I just told you, that there was a incorrectness in our surjectivity. So y equals 3x minus 2 by x minus 1. So this is y, which is going to be f inverse x. This is 3x minus 2 by x minus 1. This is your final answer, f inverse x. So just that surjectivity you can correct by this way. Okay, this is all about this exercise. Thank you so much and take care of yourself.